Cheers. Good morning. You guys got your guitars ready for some very challenging sight reading today? Let's see how many people leave this chat right now when I say that. I'm just joking. It's super easy. And it's one of the most requested songs of all time, I swear. If you do gigs, someone will come up and ask you to play this song. Who knows what song it is? Type it in the chat. Come on. Come on. Let's see some guesses. What song am I talking about? Anybody know who's here watching? It's not fair. You can see me, but I can't see you. Come on, tell me who you are, where you're at. Let me know if you're a Patreon member. These are my live streams for sight reading because many of you have said you want to get better at it. So I'm taking you up on that. Keith, I knew you would be here. Thanks for joining in. I hope everything's all right down there, down south. Don't know if any one of you are in that area where the hurricane is. So yeah, Keith, thanks for joining. Of course, Keith is a Patreon member, and any of you who are on Patreon, thanks for being in my community. It's awesome. Makes me practice every day and write out stuff. So I think I'm thanking you. So it's good. It's wonderful, and this is how we get better. Yeah, Keith, you're an awesome part of the community for sure. Patreon, I don't really talk that much about it, but since you guys are here and watching, and Patreon is my online music community, I'm in my 7th year now, believe it or not. And I've got over 5,000 posts and lessons from gypsy jazz, a lot of jazz, bossa nova, swing, and solo guitar, etudes, everything, chord melody, sight reading as today's, and music theory, just anything guitar. Moon River. No, I wish that was a request. I do have a guy come in at one of my wine bar gigs and ask for some Henry Mancini often. Thanks, Evan. Good to see you here, by the way. I know you're busy. Yukon, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for saying hello. It's nice to see you guys here. One of these days it's going to be a little bit more interactive, these live streams. I mean, I used to do classes where it was on Zoom and stuff, and it'd be weekly or daily during the COVID, but lately I've been doing just live streams for fun, and it's good for me to get some teaching materials out there. So I know you all are excited to see what song it is, and I gave you a hint on Patreon, or maybe I said it on the YouTube link. It's a waltz, but I'm still waiting for some more of you to guess. It's not Moon River. It's not Beatles, even though the Beatles. Oh, Till There Is You. No, that's on 4, 3, 4. Oh, by the way, I've got my little Beatles book here. My cats really love. Look at this. My cats love my Beatles book so much. They love it more than me, but they love it for different reasons. With my pocket Beatles book, I've had this for I don't know too many years, but it's a good one. If you guys are Beatles fans, get this book. This one needs to be retired pretty soon. I'm looking up to see it. Sometimes some songs are written and this is just some theory. Sometimes when you have a song, it might be, you think it's a waltz. You think it's in 3/4 time, but maybe it's written in 6/8 time. Sometimes you think a song's in 6/8, and then it's actually written in 3/4. Evans says, "Someday My Prince Will Come." No, you're a jazzer, I can tell, because these are all great kind of jazz songs. And that "Someday My Prince Will Come" is a great tune made famous by Miles Davis from "Someday My Prince Will Come." It's a Disney tune, though. It's a great tune. And it's not Alice in Wonderland, kind of along the same vein, which is another beautiful tune. These are good for sight reading. And I chose this song, 3/4 time is really good. Keith, all blues, 3/4 waltz. You know, is it a 3/4 waltz or is it a 6/8 waltz? If you think of it in 6/8, then it's a 12-bar blues with just a little interlude. And again, this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. It's just interpretation. Reading sheet music, you might see 2 different versions of all blues. For example, Miles Davis. One version might say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Another version might say it's a waltz. It might say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's really interesting. I always want to look at the sheet music to see what they notate, whoever did the notation for it. And usually it's by some big company, you know. And they will have done the sheet music for it, whether it's in 6/8 time or 3/4 time. So, you know, a song could be interpreted that's in 6/8 could be interpreted as a waltz. It's really an interesting thing. Just like a 4/4 song, sometimes you might see it as 12/8. You know what I'm saying? So it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that's usually like a bluesy shuffle. No, I have not revealed the song. I'm waiting for some of you to type it in. And I really hope I can pronounce your name correctly one of these days. I'm going to say it's Vasilis. No, Vasilis. Vasilis. Tell me if I got it right or not. Or just help me with some pronunciation. I'm not good at that. Or do you have a shortened abbreviation? Okay, I'm just rambling through some topics here that I consider when I'm looking at it or hear a song. I always want to know, is it in 3/4 time or is it in 6/8 time? Just like sometimes a 4/4 song can be notated in 12/8, but you can usually tell when it's a 12/8 because you'll hear it be like this. And that you're like, oh, that's 12/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But on the sheet music, it might just say 4/4 with a shuffle feel or something, you know, so that triplet feel. And they might not notate it each individual eighth note. And it's not that fun to read all that notation, the more in a lot of 16th notes. It gets kind of convoluted for sight reading. And that's why you're here is to talk about sight reading. And I'm just kind of talking about some techniques on reading for me and how I like to teach and share and practice myself. Evan, I know you got to get going. You got to, but it's not my favorite things. But that's a good one. Especially, I'll teach that one coming up. I do have it on Patreon. I have some comping, kind of McCoy Tyner, John Coltrane, 2, 3, and I think of that as a waltz. 2, 2, 3. Good one for the holidays. A beautiful song, and that's my favorite thing is a great example of a song that goes in a parallel key modulation. I've been talking about this quite a bit, parallel keys. What I mean by that is parallel major, parallel minor. So if a song's an E major, E minor, E minor, and first of all, that's relative to G major, okay, but I'm just saying E minor, whereas a Dorian is a modal. And then here's a parallel key. 2, 3. E major. So some songs that go from that parallel key are Lovely Day, Bill Withers. I've been playing that one a lot lately and teaching it. Parallel key. George Harrison's While My Guitar Gently Weeps is one of the best examples. Then he plays with the parallel key modulation scheme. Again, this is very popular for songwriting. It's good to understand this because that's how I learn songs quickly, is understanding that it modulates the parallel key or something. George Harrison's Something goes from the relative to the parallel minor. Bill Withers, I just put on Patreon Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. The B section goes to the parallel minor key. Minor, well, actually not. Yeah, it does, because it goes to the minor 4, and that's part of the parallel key. Anyways, for guitar players, it's super easy to practice that. For soloing, it's that 3-fret trick I talked about. So if you guys are interested on that, check out my recent lesson where I talk about move your hand 3 frets. I'll do a special lesson on parallel keys for soloing and show you some more examples. But let's get back to today's waltz song, because that's what I'm mainly when I'm talking about sight reading in 3/4 time, and also discuss with you the difference from 3/4 to 6/8, you know, and we'll look at some songs that are written 6/8. I've got my little cat scratcher here. This is my Beatles book here that my cats love to scratch up when they're not playing with their stuff. But they like Beatles. Norwegian Wood, is that written in 12/8 or 6/8? Or I'm going to see here what they wrote. They put 12/8. See, I wouldn't think of Norwegian wood as 8. As 8. Where's that? Man, I'm bad with this proximity today. Look at that, 12/8. Norwegian wood, 12/8. Seriously, I can't tell where that camera is. Who would think Norwegian wood's in 12/8? Once said a girl, or should I say, she once said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. See, again, it's just a matter of feel. Oh, parallel key. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. Parallel key. That's the most common modulation scheme in pop music. I don't know, I'm just saying that. At last, and I just talked about modulation schemes recently in my lessons yesterday. All these are theory lessons, sight reading. So please watch it if you're wondering. I don't want to sight read. You're actually going to learn a ton about theory and stuff like that, understanding things better. At last switches keys from the 1, then it goes to the 3, then it goes to the 5. It has the triad 1, 3, 5 modulation scheme. A lot of songs do that. I was saying La Mer Beyond the Sea does that same modulation scheme. But at last, and it goes to like the minor, then the major. Yeah. Hey Oliver, welcome back. At last is not in 3/4 time though, but it could be in 12/8 time, right? But it's generally not thought of as a waltz. But that's what I'm saying is that 12/8 could be 6/8, it could be 3/4. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see, what key is that last usually? An F is Etta James key. At last. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So that I would notate as 12/8 time. But if you look at a fake book, how the original composer wrote it, that's I want to say Harry Warren. I'm not sure who exactly wrote that tune. I need to double check. Check it out. Type in the chat. Google. That's what Google's for. But At Last is an old jazz standard, and I think it was probably notated if you were to see it on a lead sheet in 4/4 time. But you can make it 12/8, make it soulful, and that's what I'm saying is that I'm talking a lot, but no one's here typed in the right song. Come on, what's the most popular song that someone's gonna come up to you? They're gonna give you a tip, say, "Can you play this?" And they'll say, "His name is Tracy." And then you guys say, "Okay, guys, we're gonna play it in the key of G or key of C." What song am I talking about? What's the most requested song on a gig? It's like too obvious, and you're probably thinking, "Oh, it's some jazz standard or jazz song," but no, it's just a 3-chord song. Type it in. Just take it. Any guess. Oh, if you enjoy these live streams, do this. That way I can gauge whether to keep it going. If you enjoy me rambling and drinking coffee and chatting with you. I'm going to just pop it up on the screen. Okay, here it is. Tennessee whiskey. What? Tennessee waltz? Tennessee whiskey? Is that what you're saying? Edelweiss? No. It's even more popular, more simple. Okay, no one's got it. That's okay. It's all right. Here we go. Are you ready for it? I'm going to share a screen. You get your guitar out. Play it with me. Elvis. Elvis is, I think the only popular Elvis song that I get requested, well, Elvis didn't write the song, but Can't Help Falling in Love. Is that what you're thinking? That's a popular wedding song. Is that in 12/8? That's usually written in 4/4 again, but it's because of Elvis, it's written in 12/8 time. No, that's a nice song, but that's a wedding song. But no, this is just a regular gig song. You guys are gonna be surprised. You ready? The most popular requested song is every gig. Someone will request it. the reveal. Drum roll, please. Ready? We have to play it. I know you. Oh, you can probably. Oh, you can see it on the top corner. Yes. What is it? And also today is my birthday, so that's why I thought I'd tie it in with that, and talk about this song that's super popular. But you'd be surprised how many musicians can't play it. If you ask them to play it, it's tricky. If you don't know it, if you haven't learned it, you could probably pluck out the melody. But I'm going to talk about the theory of it. Okay. This is a key of C. It's always good to learn key of C version. So we're in 3/4, and I was looking at another version before I wanted to share this one with you. I was looking at another version where they put this on beat 1, but it should be on beat 3. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. And then you can kind of take a pause there. Of course, most people do. You can jazz it, add some. And then I like to go with my band. 1, 2, 3. Swing. We'll swing it out. You can have a lot of fun with it. And, like I'm saying, you could put a song in any time signature. You could put the song in 5/4. In homage to Dave Brubeck, Paul Desmond, of course. Again, 4/4, 5/4. You could even put it in the 9/8 feel, or the 6/8 feel. Actually, you get the idea. Or you go do 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 dee do 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 dee do do. So, anyways, what I wanted to share with you, besides the fact that it's my birthday today, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that. It's a good day, and had donuts and coffee here, and gonna play music later with my buddies trio. And let's talk about the song. We're in key of C. Here's the theory of it. Super easy. You could jazz it up, and I'll talk about that later. But 1, 5, 5, 1. So many of these old songs go 1, 5. I'm in 4/4 time. Right? So many of these Django songs. And I'm playing it in swing style because I know many of you here are Django Reinhardt fans. You might have stuff like this. So again, you can jazz it up in so many ways, put all these cool chord changes here, but we're not going to do that. I'm just saying that this is a very common chord progression. But the melody here, this is a little bit tricky because the melody starts on, I'm going to ask you, can you guys type it in the chat? What degree does the melody start on? Yeah, I had all of you fooled. Nobody got it. That was awesome. I love that. It's such a common song. Every gig, people are not shy about saying, requesting the birth. Can you guys play Happy Birthday? But I love it. I love, and you should learn it. If you're a gigging musician and you don't have a good version of Happy Birthday, you've got to make sure you know it because, well, if you're a gigging musician, you're a working musician, and this is a song that will get you tips. It'll get you more tips than you'll be getting the whole night just by playing the song for somebody's birthday in the audience, I swear. Okay, but you have to announce it too. You have to kind of make it special for them. What degree does melody start on if we're in the key of C? this is some basic, really important theory stuff. And I say, what does it start on? It starts on pickup notes on beat 3, and the rhythm is da da da, long short long. It's on beat 3, and if you wanted to, and this is where you got to know 16th notes and 8th notes, but it's 1 E and or 3 E and a 1. Again, just go by feel. Just go long short long. You can even kind of swing it, and in that case, it might be written as a triplet or with a swing feel, and then we have just 2 8 notes. But I'm still waiting for someone to type in what degree, what number does it start on? Because usually, if someone's going to sing it, I say, "Can you give me your starting note?" And then they'll sing it. They'll go, happy birthday. Yes, and I know that's a 5th degree. Thanks, Keith and Evan. If they were to sing it, they'd go happy. They'd actually probably sing it. They'd go happy. I say, stop. I just find that note. Happy. Okay, that's the 5th degree. We're in the key of C. It goes 5 5 6 5. Then the 1, and then T, the 7th degree, and that's the 3rd of the 5 chord. So again, that's the important thing that if anything, probably that's important for you is to know that it starts on the 5th degree of the melody starts on the 5th, not the root. So don't be fooled. So let me see if someone says, I'm gonna just I wish I had someone else in this room right now with me, but I could say happy. No, you guys pick a note, choose a note. I've got this in my head now. Okay, I'll just choose a random note. Ready? Here we go. I'll just choose this note, E. Happy birthday to you. So that E is the 5th of what? This is again how you find out what key you're in, so that you know it all ties into reading, performance. A, thanks, Evan. So E is the 5th of A. So my first chord, if someone said happy, I'd say, okay, stop. Let me find that note. Happy. I'd say, okay, I'm ready to go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Evan Tracy. Happy birthday to you. Etc. Then you'd want to give it a waltz feel. Give it a swing feel. Happy birthday to you. I'm in key of A, by the way. Key of F. What's your starting note? C. Happy birthday to you. Sometimes I like it as a swing. So again, you want to be able to kind of quickly identify the key signature and the key that you're in from the starting note. That's where the theory is so important. So again, you want to know happy birthday 5 5 6 5. Okay, of the keys, of the basic key center. So here's how I would play the melody. I'm going to play it in a few different ways for you, with you. Thanks again if you're tuning in. I know sight reading is not super fun, but there's a lot of stuff that comes up when we do this stuff together. I'm going to play here open strings. That's as easy as it could get. 2. I'm even counting 2. 1 finger. Now I'm going to play here. But now I'm in position. I'm thinking the Aeolian mode. Aeolian. Now I'm going to play it up an octave, up here. No, way up here. And what helps me is to know that that's a triad. G, C, E. So I know my C major triad. And then this cool note on the F chord is beautiful, actually. I didn't really talk about this. That's a Lydian mode. Da, 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 da. If you want to make it sad, you can make it go to the minor there. Happy birthday to chord melody you. And then the and many more part, and many more. It's on the flat 7. So it's 5 6 5 flat 7. That we can end on a dominant lick. Okay. And yes, you want to be able to do this in all 12 keys. We're not going to do that today, but again, this is just a little lesson on talking about the most popular requested song. I'm not saying it's the best song of all time, but you know, you should know it if you're a gigging and working musician. So, or a teacher, teach it to your kids, and you know. So again, if you want to do simple chord melody, that's also important too. I'm going to do it down here in open position. G6 or 9. I'm going to turn this to dominant right here. And then the F Lydian. G6. Actually, I might make it a sus. It might be a little bit jazzier there. And maybe B half diminished there. So now I'm talking about some reharmonizations that might be nice. Little Django style here. Then dominant. Lydian. Maybe minor. Parallel. And then I'm going to end on a D flat major 7 chord. And then the C major 7. Again, that can be kind of a jazzy arrangement there of the melody, reharmonizing. Here I might even go A, D, G, C. I might do all dominants to create a cycle, dominant cycle, A7, D7, G7. Now I'm talking about harmonization techniques like this. And C6, and then C7. So I'm going to check that out, see what that sounds like. Happy birth, maybe day, C7, here, minor. Ready for this? A7, D7, G7, C. D flat major 7. So fun stuff. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for joining in. And the birthday wishes, appreciate it. Have a great day, and I'm doing another live stream at 3 p.m. for a request on Patreon. It's a beautiful song. What's it called? Come Rain or Come Shine. So if you want to learn it with me. I'm going to be analyzing it and going through it about probably 3:30 p.m. now. I need to get some stuff done before my gig. So we'll see you guys then. If you want to tune back in, and have a good one. Cheers.